Her makeup was flawless, but there was a hint of panic in her eyes. She asked how I did. I said, "Pretty okay." Lucy frowned and pushed me. "How okay is okay? How many multiple choice questions did you miss?" I looked at her and suddenly found it funny. She was trying to figure out my score so she could estimate her own. "No idea, I didn't check the answers." Lucy pouted, clearly unhappy with that answer. But she didn't keep asking. She just turned and left. I watched her walk away and thought, what's the rush? The scores come out tomorrow anyway, then you'll really panic. That afternoon, halfway through the math exam, something went wrong. My stomach suddenly cramped hard. Maybe breakfast wasn't clean, or maybe I was under too much pressure. Cold sweat broke out instantly. I slumped over my desk for several seconds before I could breathe again. The proctor came over and asked quietly, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need to go to the nurse's office?" I shook my head and said through clenched teeth, "I'm fine." "Are you kidding me? I waited 18 years for this exam. Even if I died, I was dying on that answer sheet." I pinched my thigh hard. The sharp pain distracted me from my stomach. Then I kept solving. The numbers and formulas blurred in front of my eyes, but I pushed through on muscle memory and finished every problem. For the final problem, I checked it 3 different ways before putting down my pen. When I walked out of the exam room, I was nearly drained. I found an empty corner, squatted down, and took a long time to recover. Lucy texted me asking how math went. I replied with 2 words, as expected. She instantly sent back a smug emoji, clearly thinking she had it in the bag again. I stared at that emoji and almost laughed. Ignorance really does make people fearless. The next day was science and English. I had mostly recovered. Those 2 were my strongest subjects, especially science. Physics problems, chemistry deductions, biology, genetics. I'd practiced them all countless times. I flew through the paper and still had 20 minutes left to check. I went over every answer twice to make sure there were no mistakes. English was even easier. My essay was basically impossible to mark low. After the last exam, I walked out and stood by the school building. I looked up at the sky. The sun was blinding, but I didn't look away. I just stood there letting it shine right on my face. After 18 years, I had finally made it out. Lucy was the first to rush over and block my way. She was dressed extra bright today, like a proud peacock. Greed flashed in her eyes as she asked, "So? How'd you do?" "Good, better than ever. Never felt this good in my life." Lucy's eyes lit up instantly, like she'd just found a mountain of gold. She turned and ran off to claim credit with our parents. "Mom, Dad, my brother said he did amazing, so I definitely did even better." Watching her bounce away, I smiled. It was the smile of a hunter watching prey fall into a trap. "Lucy, do you know what you look like right now?" A moth flying straight into the flames, thinking it's the sun. After the college entrance exam ended, Lucy completely let herself go. She patted her chest and promised our parents she'd rank top 10 in the province. She got a huge advance on her allowance and upgraded her phone and laptop to top-tier models. Then she took our parents' hard-earned savings and blew it all with her so-called friends. Her feed updated every day, all food, drinks, and fun. She had no idea trouble was coming. One night I saw her post a photo from some fancy restaurant. The caption said, "Future top scorer celebrating early." A bunch of people liked and commented, "Lucy, you're amazing and treat us to dinner." Reading those comments, I only found it absurd. Meanwhile, I wanted to visit Grandpa in the countryside and asked my parents for travel money. I didn't even finish speaking. My mother shut me down immediately. She didn't even look up. Her tone was dismissive. "Visit who? We don't have money. Can't you see Lucy needs money?" I looked at her self-righteous face and felt sick. They gave me nothing but spent like crazy on Lucy. Those were my parents. My father sat on the couch watching TV and added without even turning around, "If you want to go, figure it out yourself."